Ayo, Greg Branos here for the Coach Speak Index. Friday afternoon / morning, which can only mean one thing. We are ripping a Ball Mania 6 draft on Underdog and got a very special guest with me today. To do that, I thought, you know what? Let's bring on a real analytical mind today. And that's exactly what we did. He is the creator of The Blitz, which you can find over at Roto Grinders and EV Analytics. Derek Carty, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Greg. I'm a huge fan of the Coach Speak Index. This is it's going to be fun. Yeah,
this is going to be a blast. Can't wait to rip this draft with you. And we are entering this draft right now, giving you like a 5-second heads up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm clicking. Nobody can stop me. I'm alone in the house right now. And you know what? I just got a location here. Let's try it again. We'll try it. I'm in California. I think I'm in California. I feel like I know where I am right now. Okay, we're waiting on one person. So jump on in there. I'll get this up on screen. How many drafts you have in the bag this season, Derek?
So I've only done a couple. Best ball is like the one format that I'm not like heavily into. I do DFS, season long, sports betting. Best ball is one that everyone's been trying to get me into. So I've kind of just been dipping my toes in recently.
Well, you're dipping your toes in the 101 here. We got the first pick.
All right. Well, that makes it easy then.
Yeah, we will not get stream sniped on our round one pick. Is this an easy one for you, the 101 this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone agrees it's Jamar Chase. I don't think he's like so far above everyone else that like you can't make a case for anyone, but I think he's the guy. You don't need to overthink it. So yeah, he's the guy we'll go with.
Yeah, he's attached to an offense that passes the hell out of the ball and probably going to have a really bad defense this year, at least on paper. It's not looking great. Who knows what their new defensive coordinator, Al Golden, is capable of. You know, sometimes we'll get surprised by a team who we think their offense will be much worse than it ends up being, or their defense. But feel like the Bengals will not be a top half of the league defense this year.
No, and they're so pass heavy. Chase is so good. It's a pretty easy call. Saquon too is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that had flipped recently to where Bijan has been going in front of him, and I think Saquon's ADP has dropped to like 4th, I believe. Take a look here, exactly what it is. Click on the Saquon team. Yeah, 4.4 ADP for Saquon, 2.5 for Bijan Robinson, 4.4 for CeeDee Lamb. I've got a lot of CeeDee Lamb this year so far. I've got him ranked 2nd overall, so I've been getting him in a lot of different spots. Just feel like that offense is gonna pass the ball a lot, just like we think for this Cincinnati offense as well. What do you make of this Dallas backfield? Because that is going to contribute, I feel, to how much that pass split is going to look like.
You're not worried about Carty coming out the other day and saying they want to run the ball? Like, you think they're going to be really pass heavy?
Well, he talked about, this was a few months ago as well. Talked about, how when he was in Seattle, we had the top rushing offense for 2 years. But then he also said, when I was in Seattle, I let Russ cook. I got in trouble for that. I think it was yesterday, he was talking about, what we do is going to be dependent on our personnel. He strikes me as a pretty common sense coach thus far. All the things that I've heard him say in press conferences, he's getting a lot of questions about the backfield. Are you going to be running back by committee? That was a big question last year. And they said, yeah, we're going to be running back by committee. And then Rico Dowdle kind of established himself as clearly the best running back in that backfield. And, they transitioned to that. And he's been getting those questions in the offseason. And he's saying, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be running back by committee. If one of these guys separates themselves and establishes themselves as, hey, this should be the lead back, then we're going to go with that guy. But otherwise, it's probably going to be running back by committee. And he's talked up, not in a huge way, but he's talked about, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. He keeps talking about Hunter Lepke. Like yesterday, he unprompted said something about Hunter Lepke when he was talking about the backfield, and also talking about getting Kevontae Turpin the ball in the run game, and we've been seeing that in practice. So could be a pretty disgusting situation in that backfield. Like maybe Jaden Blue is a guy, right? If the best chance for the Dallas running game is Jaden Blue, like they're going to play Jaden Blue. We're on the clock here. T. Higgins, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr.
I mean, do we take Higgins because we have Chase?
We can. We certainly can. And
right,
what do you want for the second pick?
Let's do McBride.
Yeah. All right. Stacking that week 17 game. Starting off, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey McBride. Love that. Yeah, that week 17 game between Cincinnati and Arizona just feels like it could be an absolute barn burner, man.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Do you have any favorite, like have you looked ahead at all into week 17 as far as matchups?
Very little. I'm also kind of the mind that like it's really tough to know what a defense is going to be like in week 17. Like defensive stuff is so not sticky to begin with that like I'm not trying to guess that far ahead usually. I look more at, okay, is the game indoors? Does it look like it's going to be, a back and forth kind of game with the offenses, that type of thing, more than anything else?
I was looking at your rankings that you sent me, and you have some pretty aggressive rankings. I love it, man. Do you mind if we
go right ahead.
Highlight a couple of these?
Yeah.
So you have Jamar Chase, number 1. You have Puka, number 2 overall. Drake London, number 3. He's your 103. Bucky Irving, number 4.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those Drake London, Bucky Irving rankings there.
I mean, Bucky, I don't understand why he's not a more consensus, like top 3 to 5 running back. I have him number 1 in this format, but it's really close to the top couple guys. But like, what am I missing that Bucky Irving isn't an elite guy? He's in a great offense. They're changing the coordinator, sure, but it's going to be pretty similar. You'd think they're going to run the ball a little bit. His workload last year down the stretch was insane. They hated Rachaad White. They didn't want to play him. They let Bucky do everything. In the Coach Speak Index Discord, I've been reading, they say, okay, we're probably just going to pick up where we left off last year with Bucky. They've talked up Sean Tucker a little bit, but I mean, presumably this is a guy who is going to get the bulk of the carries, was really good in the passing game last year, had a bunch of design targets for him last year. I kind of see him as like a workhorse in a good offense, and I don't see why there's other guys that are necessarily better than him. when I run out the projections and the math, maybe I'm a little aggressive on his usage, maybe, but I don't know. I think he's an elite guy this year. I don't get it.
Yeah, question here in the chat on whether the Tristan Wirfs injury scares you at all. Does that give you any hesitation?
I mean, a little, but not really.
It's still a really good offensive line, right? It's not a situation where this is an okay offensive line. Like their anchor, Wirfs is. I mean, he kind of is the anchor of that offensive line in a way, but just because he's so damn good. But they have some other really good offensive linemen there. We're on the clock here. DK Metcalf, Jameson Williams, Devontae Smith, Chuba Hubbard, Jalen Waddle. 6 seconds.
Well, I am not prepared for this. Let's do shooting. I don't know.
We got
auto draft. All right, Jameson Williams is fine.
Yeah. We got one more pick here. 13 seconds.
Oh, that's right. Can you look at running backs real quick?
Yep. Chuba, Kamara, Connor.
Do Connor.
Connor? Yeah. All right. We'll get some more pieces of this Cincinnati, Arizona game. I like that a lot. Got some really, really good coach speak recently on James Conner. They're just saying the same stuff that they've been saying. Their line on James Conner has not changed.
Not even a little bit. James Conner's our guy. He's the workhorse. He's the bell cow. We love James Conner. We wish everybody was James Conner. That's the coach speak on him. And everyone still wants to think Trey Benson's going to be a thing. And I don't see that. I
don't know if it's like dynasty bag defending because whenever I post these clips or whatever on, when they're talking about James Conner, when they're talking about Trey Benson, the offensive coordinator there, Drew Petzing, last week was asked, do you expect Trey Benson to get more of a workload this year than he got last year? Drew Petzing said yes and no, which, I mean, that's kind of a layup question. When these coaches get these questions, they're usually like, yeah, I could see that. And Drew Petzing,
of course we're going to work this guy in more. Yeah. It's like,
right. And Drew Petzing's like, yes and no. We'll see. And then I think it was I don't know if it was the owners meetings or at the combine, but I think it maybe was the combine. They asked Jonathan Gannon about Trey Benson. Like, can he take, like, do you, I'm trying to remember if the question was, it was essentially like, could they be 1A and 1B in this backfield? James Conner and Trey Benson. And like, could Trey Benson take the leap? And he was like, he could take the leap. A lot of coaches will be like, yeah, he's making the leap. Like, we expect him to take the leap. We got multiple qualifiers from Jonathan Gannon there. He's like, yeah, he could take the leap. If he takes the leap, then I could see a situation where we have a 1A and 1B. But then we get to this point now in camp, and it doesn't sound like Trey Benson has forced his way into a 1A, 1B situation there in Arizona. And they just keep talking up James Conner of he's going to carry the load for us this season. I know people are super worried about him missing games and all that, but James Conner played more games last year than Trey Benson did due to injuries. So Joe Burrow goes off the board here, so we're not gonna get him. Goes unstacked. We'll have to tweet a screenshot and unbelievable to take Joe Burrow unstacked.
Yeah, that is annoying.
We're about to be back on the clock. We're looking at Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall, Stephon Diggs, Isaiah Pacheco. We're on the clock now. Any of these you're into?
Jacoby Myers, is he out there? I don't know what the ADP is looking like, but he's probably good.
He's not. Somebody took him
He's
already.
gone already? Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Go Godwin.
Fuck. We got Judy.
All right, Judy's fine.
15 seconds for the next pick.
It's hard not being able to scroll through a board and see it. Go Jesus Christ, there's nobody.
We're ending up with Pearson. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna be fine. We have a super strong receiver room here. Starting off, James Conner, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Jamison Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall, and at tight end, Trey McBride. We're gonna be good.
You see what running backs are out there still?
Right now? Yeah. We'll be back on the board at 96 and 97. Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Brian Robinson Jr., Scattaboo. Jordan Mason is a possibility to be available, but usually gets taken before then. We'll see, but we'll be in a fine enough situation. This could be a 3-6-7-2 build here, and we'd be completely fine, I think. Somebody just finished their last Husky, similar one spot start. Chase, Higgins, McBride, Connor, and then
us, but without getting sniped for Burrow.
Yeah. Well, he took Burrow earlier.
Oh, early. Okay. Yeah.
On that 4-5 turn.
Right. Like. Yeah, I forgot we had an auto pick in there.
Yeah. I saw the news today on this. Micah Parsons requesting a trade. We'll see how that goes, man. Jerry Jones he's out of touch, man. That poor franchise. I would hate to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, a Cowboys fan, or like a Browns fan. I would really, really hate it so much. It's just downright dumb to, like, they could have done this contract a while back now and saved money on it. And their reasoning for not doing it is so dumb. It
makes no sense.
Yeah. Jerry Jones saying, hey, we could sign a guy and he could go outside and get hit by a car the next week.
Give me a break.
And then he used I think it was the Trayvon Diggs contract as an example of, like, you don't want to sign a guy to a big contract because then he could get hurt. Like, look at Diggs right now. He's hurt. Was that a good contract? Oh, man. Okay. A few picks away.
So let's look at our board. Who do we have right now available?
Yeah. Jaylen Warren would be a very acceptable.
Well, I know you're a big Scatabo guy.
I'm a big Scattaboo guy.
I'm okay with that here.
We'll see.
What are we looking at quarterbacks right now?
Quarterbacks, Bo Nix, Justin Fields, Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray just went off, so we're not gonna.
Where's McCarthy's ADP? You have a couple
rounds. 120, 122. Yeah, we could wait around for him. All right, we're on the clock. If we want to take Jaylen Warren here, we could do that, and then another running back as well if we wanted.
Yeah, take Warren and Scatabo.
Yeah, let's do it. Getting some reports out of Steelers camp that Caleb Johnson is having a real problem in pass protection. He's a rookie. Rookies a lot of times aren't great at it immediately. I remember Kevin Stefanski talking about that last season. Even if they were good in college, it's just such a big step up in the pros. But if you're just like constantly struggling in pass protection, I feel like you might not be out on the field like a ton in a Mike Tomlin on a Mike Tomlin team. The dude is just a real hard ass, and we know Jaylen Warren is so good in in pass protection, and a good pass catcher. So that's something that melds well with Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Nick Scadaboo. Well, he did. There's the report that he wasn't practicing today, but then he did get in there. Daboll said that they're just like managing him. He's a super tough guy, and I think he's going to be their goal line back, like pretty easily will be their goal line back. Super elite running back in short yardage situations. What's you have any leans on that Giants backfield between him and Tyrone Tracy?
Not really. I mean, I'm kind of going by the coach speak stuff on this, because I think that's kind of what it's going to come down to. So, it's sounding like he's going to be the goal line guy. That's good enough for me at this point.
And Tyrone Tracy probably one more fumble away, or one more really bad mistake in as a pass catcher away from getting doghoused again. Yeah. Right. Not too far away. We'll take a look at guys that are available. Drake May is out there. All right, we'll take a look at the running backs here. Quinshon Judkins keeps falling more and more. Tyjae Spears, Ramondre Stevenson, some fun clicks. QBs, looking at Jared Goff is available. JJ McCarthy. We don't have a Viking yet, but he is out there. Justin Herbert, back stackable QB for sure.
Is Quentin Johnson still out there?
Yeah, he is. Justin Herbert just goes off now. We're on the clock. On the clock.
Let's grab McCarthy then.
Sure. JJ, and then for the second pick,
let's do Judkins. Our running back room we need some upside.
All right, Judkins here.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, I love McCarthy this year though. Sam Darnold in this offense last year balled out. I don't understand why McCarthy's so far down. I know he's an unknown. I know we don't know the health, but you just can't be put in a better spot. And pass heavy offense, good receivers, indoors. It's just a great play caller. It's just the whole thing. So he's kind of a late target of mine if I miss on a quarterback early.
Yeah, I believe establish the run was pretty big on McCarthy, if I'm not mistaken. I know some very respected people in the space are on him. Yeah, the Quinshon Judkins situation is super interesting. Feels like there's a very large range of outcomes for him this season, including maybe he doesn't, maybe he's never a Cleveland Brown, but then maybe he gets suspended for just 4 games or something, or maybe there's an outcome where there's no suspension this year. I doubt that would be the case. That seems like maybe the lowest probability of those 3.
I would think so.
But we know the Browns don't have a huge problem with Mike Hall last season had I believe he was arrested, and that was a whole domestic violence case, I believe, and he ends up getting I think 5 games, but he was practicing the next day with the Browns, and this situation, I don't know if it's because Judkins has not signed a contract yet, but they're just okay, don't come to the facilities, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there. But I mean, when they drafted him, they were talking about him as a bell cow.
Yeah.
For them, like they were really talking his usage up.
Yes, I mean, you never know, but if it is, 4-game suspension, 5-game suspension, then he comes back, settles in for a couple weeks, and then is the bell cow, I don't mind that at this point.
Yeah. So, yes, Ryan, a little bit.
Oh yeah, of course we're scared. I mean, it could just be a wasted pick easily.
Yeah, but when you're drafting at volume, again, if there is a scenario, right? If we think there's a, say, like, I don't know, 5% chance that nothing happens this year and a 10% chance that it's, 3 games, 4 games, something like that, then getting him at 120 area, that works out pretty good because you've got these other running backs. It's before the bye weeks ever hit, right? So you've got that entire room of running backs that you've drafted available to kind of usher you through those suspension weeks. And we're about to be back up on the clock as Trey Benson goes off at 141.
Show me the wide receivers that we have available.
Yeah, Cedric Tillman. We're on the clock. Leggett, Dobbs, Demario Douglas.
Go to the quarterbacks.
Tua, Bryce Young, Cam Ward.
Let's take Tua.
Tua, let's do it. And then for the next pick,
is Wandale still out there?
I think so. He usually goes a little bit later. Yeah, we could get him later.
All right, later's good.
Next round.
Grab Najee.
Najee. All right,
yeah, we're out of time.
Do it. Let's double up. Najee Harris, Quinshon Judkins. What?
Oh boy.
Oh man. Listen, all we need is for Quinshon Judkins to miss no games for the prayers that Jim Harbaugh is sending up to the skies to be heard, and for Najee Harris to be healed up and ready for week 1. Point here from Nick: for all the negative talk, Breece Hall is getting at camp. I think Braylon is going way too low, especially if he steals those goal line touches. I mean, Breece Hall isn't getting negative talk at camp, at least from coaches and whatnot. And they're talking about, how he is. It was their offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand, I believe yesterday, talking about how exploitable Breece Hall can be in matchups in the passing game. I think we'll see a lot of that. But to this point here about stealing goal line touches, I think that's very possible that Braylon Allen could end up being the goal line back for the Jets. Aaron Glenn talking about the other day how this is a 240-pound guy. He's always falling forward. They're pretty big fans of Braylon Hall, it appears, thus far. And Aaron Glenn has been a guy that hasn't been super shy about talking about how he feels about players today. In fact, let me pull this up here from the Coach Speak Index Discord. He's talking about Arian Smith, their rookie wide receiver today, saying that he's not where he needs to be, but he's doing a really good job for us. Then Jeremy Ruckert saying, hey, there's things for him to improve on. So he's not just, glazing all these players just to glaze them. Like when he's saying stuff about them, I don't like to judge and say what a coach's profile will be right before we have sufficient data to kind of back that up. But I am getting a sense that Aaron Glenn, pretty straight talker, and I mean, he said it about like he was talking about somebody's injury. I think it was the Justin Fields thing, right? When he got the dislocated toe, he's like, it's not going to be a big deal, guys. I'm not going to bullshit you when it comes to injuries. Okay, not going to be a big deal. Justin Fields back out on the field like a day or so
The next day
later. Yeah. So fairly good start there for Aaron Glenn. It seems we're 5 picks away. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this stuff back up. Austin Eckler still out there. Jerome Ford out there. These are the receivers. I wonder if. All right, these are the QBs. Darnold, Richardson, Rodgers. Oh God,
QBs look like
QB's getting snapped up here. All right, we're on the clock. I think Eckler could help this room quite a bit.
Let's do it, I guess.
Probably close out running back with Eckler here. And then next up here, if there's a tight end that you would like a Jonnu.
Is Ferguson still out there?
No, Ferguson's long gone.
Okay. I mean, Jonnu works.
He's been getting a lot of work there in camp, and yeah, we'll just bet on Arthur Smith tight end shenanigans. we know how much Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. We saw it in Atlanta when everyone was clamoring for Kyle Pitts, and here comes Jonnu Smith with a 70-yard screen touchdown. And then we're seeing them line them up in the backfield in camp now. We're seeing them make nice grabs. So sure, why not? We'll recap this team real quick so far. Quarterback JJ McCarthy, Tua Tagovailoa. At running back, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Cam Scatterbo, Quinshon Judkins, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Jamison Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall at tight end, Trey McBride, Jonnu Smith. All right, so we're good there at tight end, I feel. QB will probably be able to use one more. We're good at running back. And then receiver, I think we could take a couple more shots.
We look at the receivers, who's out there?
For sure. Jack Besh, Michael Wilson, Dante Thornton, Jalen Knoll. You see, as far as
let's take Keenan Allen.
Keenan, yeah. We'll see if he's available when
I just saw him on there, yeah.
He comes back here. And then let me scroll and see if there's any. The stack partners available would be Jalen Naylor for JJ McCarthy, and then Malik Washington for Tua. Let's look at QBs. Anthony Richardson still available. Aaron Rodgers out there. Not super interested in kind of the rest of those guys.
I think maybe Richardson.
Richardson would be great if he makes it back. I'm not convinced. Yeah, he goes off the board. Okay. He gone. Interesting.
Let's do Jackson Dart then.
Yeah. That'll work. See if he makes it back. All right, we're sweating this Keenan here. What do you have any, like, what are the destinations that you would want for Keenan Allen?
I mean, I feel like anywhere he goes, like Keenan Allen is just underrated. Like he's going to get targets wherever he goes. I know there's some situations where maybe we're going to be a little bit more confident in it, but even last year, like people were trying to make Roma Dunze a thing all year, and even DJ Moore was out targeted by Keenan for most of the year. So I kind of think wherever he goes, it's going to be fine. We're getting a potential potential B tier receiver, late. So I like the pick here.
Yeah. Any predictions on how many games Jackson Dart starts this year, and at what point? Like, what do you think would make the Giants say, "All right, it's Dart time"?
I'm not a Russell Wilson fan, but I worry that if he gets off to a rough start, that we see some Jameis for a little bit. So, like, I don't know. I would say probably like week 10 would be where I'd set the line for Jackson Dart, which at that point is okay. I think he's got plenty of upside when he plays. I think he's got actually kind of decent receivers at this point. So I don't know. I think he's interesting.
Yeah, I think the over under right now on Jackson Dart starts that I saw was 4.5 games started. So that's kind of in line there. They do start out with a pretty rough schedule. If they start out, 0-5, 1-4, something like that, maybe we see a switch at that point. But if Russ is keeping the boat afloat, then we know they respect Russell Wilson's experience. They keep talking about his experience. He's seen so many things in this league. He's seen so many defenses. But if that experience, if all that experience amounts to is a 1-4 start, then maybe you got to go with mystery box. I do feel pretty decent that it would be Dart in before Jameis. I think.
You think so?
I think. I know Dart's been getting a lot of the QB2 stuff in camp. Now it might be just like to get him more reps, right? Working as QB2. But yeah, if the season starts to be on the line early in the season, Jameis Winston isn't really a guy that's gonna bring you to the playoffs. We saw it with Cleveland last year, right? Like, sure, there were some exciting games. We got some fantasy production, but then he has those Jameis moments that you're like, oh my God, what are you doing, my guy? All right, let's bring up
coming up. Let's see.
Yeah.
Is Josh Palmer still out there?
No, Josh Palmer is long gone. He's going into like 140s, 150s. Okay. Yeah, Naylor is the only. Well, Naylor and Malik Washington are the only stacks available to us right now, and then it's just kind of the Jalen Cokers, the Elic Iomanors.
Yeah, let's do Ray and Jalen Naylor.
Well, we have one pick.
Oh, last round.
That's the final pick.
Do Naylor then, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Jalen Naylor. Oh wait, is Ty Felton also available? Ty Felton is another option. So either one of those.
Do Naylor.
Yeah. All right. Speedy, as they call him. All right, we got Naylor. It doesn't show up automatically, but we got him. Recapping this team: quarterback JJ McCarthy, Tua Tagovailoa, Jackson Dart. At running back, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Cam Skattebo, Quinshon Judkins, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Jameson Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall, Keenan Allen. At tight end, Trey McBride and Jonnu Smith. How you feeling, Derek?
Not super confident. I don't think this went as well as it could have.
The 20-second clock is absolutely,
it's brutal.
And you did send me your rankings. I was not able to like convert them into a CSV file because Underdog has like the specific user ID stuff. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, see. It is what it is. We have a shot. Maybe. Yeah. Probably not.
It's up to Judkins and Najee, you know.
Listen, I was excited about Najee Harris when he first signed with the Chargers. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have so much Najee Harris this year. And then they go out and they draft Hampton, and Harris has the eye thing, and everyone hates him now. But if the eye thing winds up being nothing and Hampton gets hurt, like, he could be extremely valuable in that offense. So he's not nothing.
Yeah, they even after drafting Omari and Hampton, they've talked about the 1-2 punch with those two running backs. They do. I mean, they like Najee quite a bit, actually. And we saw last year with the running backs, even when J.K. Dobbins was outshining Gus Edwards, they were still getting Gus Edwards work in there. That's just a very kind of Greg Roman
thing. I mean, he did the same thing in Baltimore.
Yeah. Now, if it's just an absolute gigantic disparity between the two, and it's just so apparent that, you know, you'd be the dumbest person alive to like, you know, give Najee 50-40%, whatever, then sure. But I do know that they are Najee Harris fans. There's the reports that came out initially saying relatively minor injury, and, you know, should be ready for the start of the season. I mean, that's a little promise. Like, it's odd to not say minor injuries, instead, you know, saying relatively minor. Like, I don't love that, but at least it doesn't sound like he lost an eye. You know,
probably a good thing.
Yeah, it honestly sounds more kind of like the David Njoku stuff last season of, like, you know, burning his face type stuff. Jeremy here in the 8 spot asking what we think about his team. That's the icon.
Luka in London to start. You know, I like that.
Oh yeah, let's take a look here at the icon. All right. Quarterbacks: Michael Penix, Matthew Stafford, Anthony Richardson. At running back, he's got DeAndre Swift, Brian Robinson Jr., Joe Mixon, Zach Charbonnet, Ramondre Stevenson, DJ Giddens, who I'm a big fan of and have a whole bag of. Wide receiver: Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Darnell Mooney, Alec Pierce, Tutu Atwell. Tight end: George Kittle, Kyle Pitts. Yeah, this is a good team. Maybe a little bit too early on Mixon. Maybe not. Maybe that this ends up being good value, and the Mixon thing is overblown. I'm a little interested and curious on how this Washington backfield kind of shapes up there. We're battling the icon here with our Austin Eckler, who got 52% of offensive snaps when he played last season. I like the Anthony Richardson, Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce is a guy you seem to be just talking up constantly.
Dude, I mean, constantly talking up Alec Pierce in Indy, and not the greatest stuff being said about A.D. Mitchell recently, which just makes you feel pretty good about Alec Pierce over A.D. Mitchell for the Colts. All right, I forgot how to get out of there. It's very easy. It's just a button right here, Greg. Tell us about the bat, man. It's very, very interesting stuff. I know you're crushing Major League Baseball home runs right now. Tell us all the work that goes into those projections that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I do the bat for the Bat X for baseball. I do the Blitz for football. Probably been doing projections for close to 20 years now, which is insane. Before best ball was a thing, before sports betting was anywhere close to legal. You know, worked with and learned from a lot of really cool people who are making decisions now for major league clubs. The results on the projections have just been great, whether it's DFS, whether it's season long, whether it's sports betting. I keep a whole public tracking sheet of all the bets I make based on the Bat X and the Blitz. And it's just like, I think all times like a 12% ROI, like something crazy. So it's been really good. And I'm always on Twitter too, if anyone ever has any questions.
Yeah, you guys gotta follow Derek. You gotta tail these bets, man. He's crushing. He's knocking it out of the park like these guys that he's betting to hit home runs are knocking it out of the park. Before we let you go, Derek, I would love to hear what are your 4 favorite films.
4 favorite films. All right. Casablanca, The Dark Knight, Sunset Boulevard, and Star Wars.
All right, man. Sunset Boulevard. That's a great pull. That's a great film. I always blank on that actress's name. Is it Gloria? I gotta look this up now.
The actual actress or the actress in the
the actual actress is Gloria Swanson as Norma Desmond.
Yes.
Yeah. God, she's so magnificent in that and so funny. Like just a really, really funny character. She's talking about the oil fields she has in Bakersfield are just pumping and pumping oil. Just incredible line deliveries, one after another. Casablanca. I feel like I pronounce it different ways every time, but
I think I do too.
Casablanca and The Dark Knight. Like you saying that back to back makes me want to watch like a double feature of those two.
I feel like it works, right?
It might. I mean, they both have this kind of dark undertone to them, and then also a bit of a dark overtone to them. Yeah, that's I think about like double features and triple features all the time, and like pairing different film. Like my all-time favorite double feature is this documentary called Salesman from I think like the 70s or something. It's about Bible salesmen, and this documentary crew just follows them around, and they're door-to-door Bible salesmen in like the 60s or 70s or whatever. And then there is the show Documentary Now did a spoof of salesmen, and the episode was called Globesmen, and it's about door-to-door salesmen who are selling like globes, like world globes. Incredible double feature. I cannot recommend it enough. It takes you about 2 hours to watch both of them together, and it's fucking incredible.
I'll need to look into it.
Yeah. And then I also found like the most bummer triple feature that you could ever watch, and I'm not sure people would be able to make it through all 3 films. I can't remember like offhand. I know one of them is I think Granddaddy Longlegs. It's done like by a guy who is one of the Safdie brothers' friends, but just absolute bummer of a film. And there are like 3 that I found, and I watched kind of around the same time, and I just thought, man, this would make it just a crazy triple feature. But we got to do the Casablanca Dark Knight double feature just to see, you know, how it feels, how I come out of that.
I don't think I've ever watched them back to back. I might need to do the same.
Which one would you start with? It'd be Casablanca, right? Or
I think so.
Yeah. Or play them simultaneously.
Even better.
Or all right, Galaxy Braid. Play one
with the audio from the other.
Exactly. All right. Well, we got to do it. CH here intimating that I need to wrap it up. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Next week, got some great guests: Danny Heifetz, Megan Schaup, Jared Smola, still working on the fourth one, confirming. But that'll it's all good, man. It's all good. CH, just making a joke. Yeah, that'll do it for us. Derek, please let us know where we can find you, what you've got going on.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Derek Carty. You can find the Blitz at RotoGrinders for DFS, at EV Analytics for sports betting. And yeah, thanks for having me on. This has been embarrassing. Terrible draft.
Wow. Listen, Quinshawn's going to miss 0 games. Najee Harris going to miss 0 games, and this team is going to destroy. 2 million in the bank. Count it. All right, guys. See you next week. Thank you to Derek for coming. Peace.